It is with great pleasure that we would like to welcome Mr. Sandun Hapugoda as the chief guest of this event. Mr. Sandun Hapugoda was the head prefect of DS Senanayake College, Colombo between the period 2002 and 2003 and is a proud graduate of SLIIT. He obtained his MSc in Information Technology Management from the Staffordshire University and also fellow member of the Institute of Certified Professional Managers of Sri Lanka. Before heading into his current position at MasterCard, he worked at ICICI Bank, Amana Bank, Hatton National Bank, and American Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka. Mr. Hapugoda has over 20 years of experience in banking and payments industry and currently operates as the country manager of Sri Lanka and Maldives of MasterCard. Previously, Sandun held positions of Director of Account Management and Head of Digital Payments of MasterCard in Sri Lanka and Maldives. Mr. Hapugoda currently serves as a member of the Board of Directors at American Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka. He also served in several committees appointed by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Ministry of Technology, National Science Foundation, and other institutions to share his experience in payments, digital banking, fintechs, blockchain, technologies, and open banking to uplift the digital economy. I now invite Mr. Sandun Hapugoda to deliver the convocation address.
Vice Chancellor, Senior Deputy Vice Chancellor, heads of the departments, prestigious academic staff, parents, students, and my dear friends. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me as the guest today, and also to take a part of this wonderful moment, which for most of you would be one of the most significant moments in your life. This is also a very special moment for me, not just because I'm a graduate from SLIIT, but also there are many other reasons, which I will explain the latter part of my speech. I don't want to bore you with a long speech in your wonderful day, which calls for celebration, but also I will briefly speak about two things. Firstly, the national importance of having you in the digital payments ecosystem and technology-related industries in the system, which directly impacts the business that I represent as well, which is digital payments. Secondly, I will tell you a little bit of a story about a young boy for you to realize two things. One, to understand how to never give up, but also to realize the importance of the certificate that you are getting today and you carry today. Now, to discuss the first part, I would like to put up a very broad problem statement that we have in the country. Now, in Sri Lanka, as you may know or may not know, Sri Lanka has a very decent digital infrastructure at this moment of time, with an emerging or a bad digital payments adoption or ecosystem. Why do I say this? Now, Sri Lanka, as you know, has more than 165% mobile penetration. We have over 8 million social media users in Sri Lanka, out of which 99% of them are accessing social media through their mobiles, which means we have about more than 8 million customers or 8 million people in Sri Lanka who are, in my definition, who are mobile phone app savvy community, which is 8 million. We also have over 65% internet penetration in Sri Lanka, which is really good comparing other developing countries as well. And on the digital payment side, which is the area that I represent, we currently have about 19 million debit cards today circulating in the country, which means if you take an average adult, or if you take two people, two of them have 3 cards, payment cards for themselves. We also have over 100,000 point-of-sale terminals in the country. And also there are so many digital initiatives that we take to uplift the infrastructure in Sri Lanka by different parties in the country. However, if you look at the statistics, while having this nice digital infrastructure, talking about the payments industry which I represent, the digital payments industry, the statistics are not so great. Why? If you look at debit cards, I spoke about it earlier, we have 18 million debit cards, closer to 19 million debit cards now. However, average use of a debit card in Sri Lanka is less than 7 times a year. I spoke about 100,000 point-of-sale terminals in Sri Lanka. Now, when you go to a supermarket, you can see so many transactions happening at supermarkets, right? But if you look at average point-of-sale terminal, is only being used for 5 transactions a day. Now, I can give you another example with QR codes. Now, we all know that we had a fuel crisis, and government implemented a fuel QR. Now, when we implemented the fuel QR, 6 million people adopted the fuel QR actively during the first week itself. And until last week, they have been using this system without an issue, which actually improved the productivity, saved cost, etc., for the country. However, about 3 years back, with the initiative of Central Bank of Sri Lanka, we launched something called Lanka QR, a same form factor to make payments at low cost, at a low cost mechanism at grassroots level merchants. Now today, we have about 350,000 QR codes in Sri Lanka, which does less than 125,000 transactions a quarter. That is, within 90 days, out of these 350,000 QR codes, it does about 125,000 transactions, which is not so great. Now, why I'm telling you all this, it is very important that you know about these facts, because I believe you're the people, you're the population in this country who can actually contribute significantly to push more digital and digital payments. There are 2 ways that you can do this. Firstly, you yourself as technology-related graduates, engineering graduates, you can start using digital payments, and you can get your friends and family to adopt digital payments, because you can do a little bit of a reverse mentoring on this. Secondly, you as graduates today can join the payments industry. I welcome you all to join my industry, which is digital payments, to come up with innovative solutions which are more user-friendly, which are more secure in nature, so the adoption of digital payments would be better. Therefore, I'm really looking forward to have all of you in the digital and digital payments industry. Now, I come to the second part of my speech. Now, as I promised, I want to tell you a story about someone I really know. A boy, and this boy's story will tell you 2 things. One is the determination never to give up things, how to continue with whatever you want to achieve. Number 2, this boy's story will also give you an understanding of the importance of the degree that you hold today. So just to tell you a little bit of a story about this boy, he went to a leading school in Colombo, a large leading school. Used to be a president of 8 societies and multiple other extracurricular activities. And despite all that, he got through his advanced level really well, and was looking forward to go to a local university. However, the vice principal of this school thought otherwise, and This boy believes that vice principal gave him the golden advice that he could have ever gotten in his life. And the vice principal said not to go to a local university, but to start working somewhere and to figure out some education. Maybe he would have thought, considering the socio-political situation at that time, this boy would have ended up in a radical political agenda somewhere. So, vice principal himself filled a CV, sent it to a bank. He started working in a bank. And then, while you're working, you have to study as well, right? So, the neighbor of this boy filled the application at SLIIT and put him into SLIIT to do a degree. Now, this boy has to work. This boy has to study as well. So, he decided to work in a department which allows him to do the night shifts for the bank, and banks do have night shifts, trust me. And then he continued to study at SLIIT as well, and because of work, he decided to do the weekend courses at that time. So what happened? For the next 4 years, this boy comes to work on Friday nights, do the full Friday night work. Saturday he comes to SLIIT, study the full day. Saturday night he goes back to work the whole night. Sunday morning he comes back to SLIIT, study the full Sunday. Sunday night he goes back to work the whole night on Sunday, and Monday morning he go home and sleep. This has been the routine for 4 years for this boy. And this process was physically exhausting, and he ultimately got sick, and some respiratory related issues, the nose bleedings and all those problems in the course of this journey. Because moreover, since it was very difficult to manage work and studies as well, because there's a lot to learn during the work as well, during the job as well, on the job as well. After 4 years, by the time this boy's colleagues got graduated, after 4 years, he had 10 repeat subjects. Now, that was really depressing for this young boy. He was about to give up the degree at SLIIT and was wondering what to do. At the same time, he got an opportunity to work in another bank. However, the peer pressure in that particular bank was so much that he had to pursue another advanced degree program. So what he did was, he enrolled for a master's degree in another private institution with his work experience. Now he is having 10 repeat subjects at SLIIT and doing the master's degree at some other place as well. Now, the next year, he was doing now well at master's degree. That year he became one of the top scorers at the master's degree. However, he could not finish the 10 repeat subjects. At the end of that year, he had still 4 subjects remaining at SLIIT. And he still continued with the work, master's degree, as well as the attempt to finish the SLIIT. Now the next year, which is the 3rd year, next year, he completed the master's degree. However, he could not get the master's degree because one of the conditions of the private university where he did the master's degree was to have the first degree completed to obtain the master's degree. So somehow he managed to get the master's degree by completing the 4 repeat subjects at SLIIT as well. Now, this individual, after getting that SLIIT degree, his life changed so much. By using the power of the degree, he joined one of the leading banks in the country. At the age of 29, which still considered as one of the youngest people to join the management of that bank's 135 years history. And this guy grew his career to become a significant leader in digital payments industry in South Asia. And he managed to become the chief guest for you today and come here and deliver the speech. This is why I said I wanted to tell my story to emphasize the importance of the degree that you are holding today. And if you don't realize, once you go to the market, once you go to the industry, you will realize how valuable the paper that you are carrying today. I have interviewed tens of thousands of people in my career. And whenever I interview somebody, my first question is about the first degree that they hold. Because it's very, very important that you hold a first degree. There is no disrespect for people, those who have work qualification and continue to do a master's degree based on that. But for me, personally, it is very important the quality of the first degree that you hold. I could not tell any other story than my own story to explain you the importance of the degree that you hold. So I'm truly wishing you and blessing you from the bottom of my heart for a wonderful life after graduating today. And thank you very much, SLIIT, for inviting me today as the chief guest. This personally means a lot to me because I could not attend to my own graduation because I was overseas for work. And technically speaking, this is the first graduation I'm attending at SLIIT, having studied here for 6 years. So thank you very much again to everyone and wishing you all the very best. Thank you, SLIIT. Thank you very much.